Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
A good musician is who the public says is a good musician. What's the point of making good music and you sell only 5 copies? So it's tricky. You see, our music appreciation as a country or as a people, I think we missed the point. Because of our colonial experience, today you find people who will say, for them, the highest form of music is classical music. I don't blame them, but in the context of social, cultural, and historical references, it is what they are exposed to. Almost every Nigerian that is more than 70 years old now, that's into music, they will know Beethoven, Handel, Bach. They know all the great jazz people, they know the Duke Ellington, they know the big foreign names in jazz, in blues. They know all of that. But if you ask them, do you know somebody called Igor Chico? They don't know. Igor Chico was Fela's trumpeter back in the 60s and early 70s, saxophonist, where Fela used to play the trumpet. He made Fela to learn how to play the saxophone. Nothing is written about them because when you are conquered, your conqueror writes the history. So you'll be shocked now. For example, I'm personally interested in some music genres from the East, like this instrument, Uja. Then, what you call this music now? I call them bongo boys.
Okay. I understand. I know them.
Yeah, so they are not. You don't go to a library and see that catalog. So when you say good music, people are limited to what they know, and unfortunately, arrogantly, they will say, "This is the best music." I'm like, wow, how many genres of music do you know? And then he will tell you jazz, classical, soul music, and maybe he might say reggae or country music. And so this is the best, So that for me, it is relative.
Now, when can a song be adjudged?
Okay, there are 2 parts to a song. The music in the song, that is the orchestration, drum, piano, guitars, and all of that, and the vocals. Of course, not every song has vocals. I would say music is at the point when it is fine because the content, judgment of the content is subjective. Some people like lewd lyrics and they are fine with all the kind of lyrics going on. Some people are religious and there's some kind of content they don't want to hear. But if you take the content out, they might say enjoy the instrumental. So if you play 20 instruments in a music track and I can hear all 20 clearly in a good mixed ratio, whatever your message is, the effort you put in, if you can get it back clearly, for me that's the first step to qualifying as good music. Because most times people make music, there were 17 instruments that were mixed and you can only hear 5. The rest is a waste of time. Or they are clashing, the structure is wrong, guitar is clashing with a violin, your EQs are not properly done, then your what's it called, your bass guitar is clashing with your bass drum, you can't tell each one apart. So it destroys the appreciation of the effort that has gone into putting each of those instruments. So my logic is, any instrument you know you're going to mix out, don't even start with it. Don't try. If there's no space, like putting 100 people in a room that can only take 10 people, That's mayhem. So when the music can breathe well, I think it can qualify as good music. To be able to listen to be able to listen to it, and then the rest is subjective. What catches your fancy? Is it heavy bass? Then be looking at reggae, house, and heavy metal. Are you guitar driven? Then what kind of guitar? Is it blues? Is it rock? Is it jazz? Then even if you take blues, what kind of blues? Mississippi blues, Delta blues is over. Is
I like that. I like that. Now, considering that at some point you were an artist manager, what are the qualities or attributes of a good artist manager? Or any artist manager, what are the things he has to look out for in ensuring the success of his or her artist?
well, a good artist manager, first of all, is a problem solver. The reason artists have managers or need managers is that aside from creating their musical works with their team, producer and engineers and all of that, it's like carrying two bags at the airport. They're rushing to board. You can't be as fast as the others. So you know what? Face one bag, let the porter help you to carry one bag, and you pay that porter. So that's where the manager comes in. But over the years, I have advocated that what artists need is more of the process of management, not necessarily the name or the person or persona of a face or an image of one person. So that's why you can have management companies or a consortium of companies managing an artist. When an artist gets big, somebody looking after publishing separately, there are lawyers who are looking after his investment and contracts and stuff. There are lawyers who are looking after his endorsement. Manager has somebody who is on standby to book all his flights, no matter how late or how sudden he wants to fly to go to somewhere. On the other end, they have somebody that will check out the hotel the promoter has booked. So it's a network of ancillary services to be sure that this person does not have to bother other than facing his music. And of course, the massive part, those who are doing the media relations, the PR, when should you do TikTok, when should you post on Instagram, it's a whole. So the management team has to be able to like tie all of this together, even get involved in image management, his fashion, his dress sense, costume for stage, what song that he's recording, do research and see how the audience and his fans are connecting with him. What is the feedback? What don't they like? You see, decide all of that to advise him to get better and better and better. So that is the management process essentially. And like I said, the world has moved from the era of single man manager is now about management, a process, and be honest and be humble enough to get help. You are paying for the service where you can get it so the artist can be the best they can be.